People on YouTube, you sound a little nasally.
I'm like feeling gross. So
that's not a good thing.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I don't like Oreos. Go away. You made Oreos. I don't like Oreos.
How does a person not like Oreos?
Yes.
Chris is already recording. He's so excited.
Yes, so excited.
How does a person not like Oreos? Just saying.
The older I get, honestly, the less I like cookies in general.
That's just funny. Well, happy holidays, everybody.
We got Fonz and Mel. Oreos are interesting. I want to know what Mel means by interesting.
Yeah. All right. Let me hit. Well, we'll start the show.
Hit record. Let's get this thing going. We got really nothing tonight. This is gonna be crazy. Let it be known. It's one of those.
Put it that way. All right. Here we go. So, coming up, episode 111. Ho ho ho. This is PodcastPD, the show that provides you with anytime, anywhere professional development. Our conversations and guests will provide you with the learning you might get in a faculty meeting or on a PD day. Except you're going to have more fun with AJ Bianco, Stacey Lindis, and me, Chris Nessie. Let's start the show. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday night to you. We got a lot of different things happening here as we're recording episode 111 of Podcast PD. My name is Chris Nessie, at Mr. Nessie on Twitter, and I am joined, as always, and it feels so much better at this special time of year, by my Podcast PD compadres, Stacey Lindis, and Buddy the Elf himself, AJ Bianco.
Hold up.
Stacey, happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you too, Chris and AJ. Oh, you have a hat, AJ. I'm so excited for you.
Now,
I'll bring a little festivity.
This is even more exciting because the extra thing that we're doing right now is we're also live on our Podcast PD Instagram, where everybody can hear us, but unfortunately, you can only see me. But if you go over to podcastpd.com/live on your device, it's okay if you leave Instagram, but go check us out live where we are live streaming. AJ's got his holiday hat on. He's got his Festivus pole behind him. It's disguised as a lamp. So
that's right.
things are looking good. But AJ, happy holidays to you, my friend.
Happy holidays, Christopher, Stacey, everyone. Happy holidays.
Tis
the season.
And all that jazz.
Yes, all that jazz. Tis the season. Yes.
Tis the season, yeah. And a special hello to our friends joining us live in our live stream chat. The Fonz, Mel A, Stephanie Scrocky is here. So, yeah, we are rocking and rolling here as we wrap up 2021 here on Podcast PD. We'll put it out right now. This is our last episode of the calendar year.
Our last official episode.
Aww.
Yeah, we do have our special 12 days of Podcast PD, which we'll talk about tonight, I'm sure. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. Sunday, December 19th. How many days do you all have until you go on your holiday break?
3.5, but apparently Instagram and teacher TikTok are like all in winter break mode already.
I know people have been on break since Friday. Like they get
like a full 2 weeks off. No, I got to go. We have to go, not just me as an administrator. Our school is going until Thursday, full day.
Yeah, full day Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of shenanigans is that?
Apparently, it's what they've always done.
We get 2 half days out of the year, and one of them is the day before Christmas, like winter break, and then the day before Thanksgiving. And then the kids have multiple half days, one on the last day, but for us, it's considered a full day. So that's holy moly. I've never heard of a full day before winter break.
Yep, full day. I just feel bad for the teachers. I know their kids get out early, so
I feel bad for the kids.
Like, forget the kids. The kids can deal with a full day. They don't know anything.
They don't want to be there.
Whose kids,
no.
For the parents whose kids are already out, that's hard. I feel bad for them. My kids have a half day in our district.
So what do you got planned for that day? A couple walkthroughs, some last minute observations to close out the
Yep.
year. What are you doing there,
Yep.
Mr. Vice
Yep.
Principal?
I have walkthroughs and observations already scheduled. Couple meetings, make sure that everything is set up. I have
What the hell did you just say?
ton of work that everybody needs to do on that day. I'm hoping that somebody gets some tests on that day.
Would they get brownie points with admin if they're Scantron?
Essays. I want essay based tests that they have to grade over the break. That's what they expect. That's the expectation. Kidding.
Well, AJ,
Kidding.
you're in some good company because Melissa Rodriguez, who's also in the chat, says that she has a full day on Thursday as well.
There we
So
go.
you have some company, but that just sounds horrible. Luckily for her and her students, Winterfest Day, a day full of activities, has been designated by her admin. So
I would love to hear what Winterfest is all about.
yeah, so Melissa, Fonz, staff, Mel A, if you're interested. I'm muted. Anyway,
Yep.
please join us. I keep hitting buttons.
I'll do that.
I know. I'm
You
just
guys
trying
can't give
to
me a
like
hand,
not
just-
cough.
For anybody who wants to join and call in, again, you can have your camera on or off. Either way, we'd love to get your audio. Go to podcastpd.com/join, and that'll get you into the green room, and we'll let you tell your story. So certainly that's what we're doing here. You guys like the lights I put up?
ADHD a hat. They look beautiful. I like
The lights
I
are
wish they were
cool.
flashing.
There should be like a Christmas tree in the bottom left corner.
and a Hanukkah menorah.
Yes.
Look,
And
it was that or finish my bathroom. So I put the lights up.
priorities.
Fine.
Priorities, yes.
Chris, how are you? How is the bathroom?
Yes,
We
tell us
saw
about the
pictures
bathroom.
this weekend.
All over your
Things
social media pages.
things are good. So I was able to remodel my one full bathroom, which I originally did a couple years ago when we first bought this house, and it was time for change. So I was able to go from late Friday starting the project to we could take showers today.
Nicely done.
So yeah, I
You
was
should be
originally
clean
going
for
to do
work.
it over the holiday break, and then I just kind of felt inspired and just knocked it out.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Yeah.
We have some friends from Utah joining us, Chris.
Wow.
Derek Larson says, I sound sick.
Wow. Derek Larson, how are you?
I'm drinking
I got to
tea,
hear from Derek today because in podcast and current events today, I released my 8th annual House of EdTech Smackdown,
Congratulations.
and
That's awesome.
for the first time, Derek was not a part of it.
Bum.
What?
It's all good in the podcast hood. He had some things going on the last couple of weeks and wasn't able to get me something, but he did take the time. He'd listened to the episode and he's updated the spreadsheet that he started of his own goodwill that chronicles every single thing that's ever been mentioned on the House of EdTech Smackdown through the last 8 years.
Oh,
Cool.
Derek, you should share that with us. I would love to know, like obsolete things and like when Remind was called Remind
Yeah, right?
101, like little things like
I
that.
would love to see what it looked like from year 1 to now.
Derek, if you could drop that link in the chat, that would be fun.
That
Oh,
would be
speaking of
fantabulous.
fun in the podcast hood, here he comes, Mr. Run DMC himself. What's up, Hans?
How's it going, everybody?
Happy holidays, my friend.
Likewise. Excited to be here. Just want to make sure my audio is good. Yeah, there we go. Making sure I've got the same ready to go.
Your
Anyway,
audio is always good.
thank you. Big shout out to AJ, though. I want to give a big shout out to AJ for being an amazing guest host. Thank you so much for hosting our special reflection show this past Wednesday.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Thanks for the opportunity.
He's the
We
man.
got to rewind because sadly, not everybody listens to everything. So first, Fonz, congratulations. You on the My EdTech Life podcast, you reached podcast graduation. You released your 100th episode. Congratulations on that.
Ooh, ooh.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to hit that milestone, and it's it's been a wonderful journey. And Chris, I want to thank you especially as well, because you have definitely been a great help in me picking your brain and asking you questions and all that good stuff. And you've been very helpful. And I appreciate you, appreciate AJ, and of course being able to connect with Stacey as well. And I'm really excited. So Stacey, for sure, we need to get you on this 2022 for sure. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm making that public invite right now.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Now, you did this reflection episode, which AJ was a part of. So Fonz or AJ, first, who did you have? Who was your big 100th episode guest? I forget. I didn't listen to it yet. I'm sorry.
It was George Chorus.
That's right. You mentioned that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That was really like pretty much like I guess like a dream guest, sort of. Like I never thought I'd have him on the show, and he's the nicest. Like he's so nice. Like I think I don't know. I mean, like all Canadians that I've met have been really nice, but he was just like to the next level, very nice and everything, and just very, very just I don't know, man. I can't describe it. It's like but he's great, and we had a great talk, pre-warm up, pre-chat, and then of course his episode was just amazing. He had a lot of terrific insight and so on. So I was just really excited about that to top off or close off this first 100 episodes with George Chorus, and then doing the reflection show the week after, and my mystery guest host that I kept secret till the day of the show. So it was great to have AJ on there.
Now, AJ, what was the purpose of the reflection show? Now, this I can say I did. I watched it, so I didn't catch it live, but I did see the replay. But what did you do, AJ?
No, this is Fonz's baby, so he wanted to make sure he could reflect on his first 100 episodes, and really, I asked him a couple of questions that were on my mind about the podcast, about his goals, why he started, all that stuff that you want to know from a podcast standpoint. And then Fonz hooked it up. He had some awesome clips of his favorite guests and moments of the show. And I think we had like a top 5, Fonz. I guess you had top 5 people and quotes that they had said. So it was great. It was just reflecting on 100 and looking forward to 100 plus more. I got to be honest, I was just honored that he asked me to do this. And I was just proud to be part of it because it is a milestone. And 100 episodes. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was great.
Awesome.
Like it was totally unscripted. Like AJ, I just told him like you just come up with the questions and just kind of like just roll with it. And I think the nice piece too is just adding those little clips that were that stood out to me. And of course, I could have played all of the clips, but I just kind of picked like the best ones as kind of the conversation was going, because I had more than 10 clips lined up. But as the conversation was going, I was just kind of adding those clips in there and stuff. So. But thinking of doing like maybe like a little compilation video, just putting it out there, just the best clips that I've done, and like greatest hits, and just putting that out because there's so many great quotes, great guests, a lot of just knowledge dropped in just that 1 minute little clip and so on. So it was just wonderful to be able to do that, and of course, like I said, just joining the 100 club, like it's amazing.
Your jacket's in the mail from the Podcasters Academy.
Yes. All right.
That'd be cool.
Now, I did notice something else, Fonz, that you have you put out like some images, some promotional artwork, and you're calling it season 1, which 100 episodes for one season takes me back to cartoons in the 80s, where one season of cartoons is like 200 episodes. So what's in store for season 2? What do you got going on in the next, say, January, February? What's going on with Maya Tech Life?
Well, actually, I'm not even waiting that long yet. Like I'm already coming on Monday. I'm going to do 3 episodes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the next season already. And then I'm going to take a break. It was just, I kind of had to get those in because I just had to. There were guests that I've been wanting to get, and it just worked out that it was right after the 100th episode. So Monday I have Dr. Luke Hobson, who is an instructional designer. He author of a book, podcaster as well. So he'll be on. He works for MIT. And so I'm really excited to have him on as a guest. We connected maybe about a month and a half ago. We got to read his book, and he's such a nice guy. He sent me his copy that's like the not for resale copy. that he got, because I always love to reach out to authors, and he just like so simple. I love it. He just put here like keep up what no it says here, keep up the nerdy podcast, and that's it. That was his signature. So
Fonz, what's the book? Can you say the book one more time?
It's called What I Wish I Knew Before Becoming an Instructional Designer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
going to have him
beautiful.
on, works for MIT. Then on Tuesday, I have Stephen Grubbs, who does Victory AR or Victory XR, excuse me. And they're a huge company right now working with higher ed, doing AR, VR, and that's one of my passions too as well. And then on Wednesday, I have Dr. Edith Trevino, who's local here to the Rio Grande Valley, and just a superstar in the bilingual education world and just tech world and everything. So those are the 3 episodes that I'll be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll be off for Christmas up until, January, mid-January, maybe late January, and then come back strong with just amazing guests. Probably going to be doing a lot more stuff as I'm getting closer to my dissertation, getting a lot more guests on talking about augmented reality, other technologies, Web 3.0, and trying to start making those connections to education just to kind of just get the conversation going and, and seeing what we'll see within maybe the next 3 to 5 years and so on. And, but I mean, pretty much I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people just to be on, and format's not going to change. Like, as always, it's always connecting the human side, that aspect, the origin story, where you're coming from, what you love to do, what is your passion, what are you here to share and promote, and just connecting, as always, educators and creators one show at a time.
So, Fonz, from what it sounds like, with the format of the show, you're trying to get to episode 200 before the next year. Is that what's going on? Doing 3 shows this week?
Yeah,
At this rate, he'll be at episode 200 by summer.
Yeah, man, I want to get to episode 200, and but really, it really just comes out of, I love doing this, guys. Like, I love it, and I know you guys, you love it too. But this is something that I don't know. I just have a passion for just connecting and learning, and just if I want to learn something, hey, I'm going to contact you. You're the expert. I want you to be on my show. Can you be on my show? And I learn from them for an hour, and of course, the audience gets to listen to them also for that hour, and let's just continue learning. And that's the one thing that I love that this platform has been able to facilitate, is just that continual learning and that passion for me to just continue looking forward and not just kind of, staying put, like, feeling like I'm not moving or doing anything, just kind of shaking things up for myself. And of course, just bringing more great content for all educators in around the world.
Well said. Well said.
Awesome.
That's what you're talking about, Fonz. I love what you do. I love, you're not just entertaining the audience, you're entertaining yourself, and you're learning a lot. So that's what makes it a real podcast. It's not just somebody trying to, let me get a name on here, let's see what they have to say, and then, move on. Like, you're learning, you're growing, and it really should inspire others to do the same thing.
Yeah, and that's, I think, like AJ, you hit it. Like, it's just that learning process. It's just, I don't know. I kind of found something that I'm pretty decent at, and I really just want to continue to grow with it, and just have people just come along also for that journey. Like, and just like many, like Mel that's here, and you, and Chris and Stacey, and anybody else that watches the show, or listens. Just, I'm glad that you're here for the journey, and I'm thankful that a little bit of what I do might bring some value to your current practice. Like I always say, it'll add a little extra seasoning to what you already do great.
There you go.
So, yeah. So anyway, I was hearing that you guys, man, I was off Friday at 1 p.m. and I'm already on break, but just to hear that you guys are, hearing that you guys are working till what, Wednesday, Thursday?
We go till Thursday.
Wow.
And you said you go back, what, January 6th?
I go back January 4th, that's a work day, and the students don't come back till January 5th.
That's a Wednesday. Wow.
Yeah, so kids just go back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're off for another that weekend. And then the next day off that we'll have will be the Monday after Super Bowl. Just because we can never find substitutes.
You don't get off for MLK?
Man, They really do take football seriously in Texas.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is, we don't get off for MLK. We kind of traded that instead of MLK. And again, going back to the reason is we have a lot of teachers that might call in sick that Monday after Super Bowl. They say, well, we won't give you MLK, but we'll give you the Monday after Super Bowl off. So
Wow.
then that way, you're not looking for subs.
Not a bad trade-off. Not a bad
It's
trade-off
really
at
more
all.
evidence that the NFL needs to put the Super Bowl on President's Day.
President's Day. Yep, they should. I think they're going that direction, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
Melissa, I'm with you. I go back
Yeah,
on Monday,
January 3rd.
January 3rd with children.
Full day of
Yep.
school.
Full day of school.
Old school, when school was school.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. Hey, Fonz, do you like the holidays?
I do. I love the holidays.
I mean, look
What
at
is your favorite part of the
a little
holidays?
decked out in
But
holiday attire.
yeah,
Well, number one, favorite part of the holidays right now is I can get to walk around in my pajamas all day long or in my sweatpants. That's number one. I don't have to worry about, just getting up and getting dressed for work. Number two, get to sleep in a little bit longer. Number three, get to spend some time with my lovely wife, which should actually be number one. So that'll be number one. I'll bump everything else number 2, 3. But
It's okay.
and then of course just spending time with my parents. I think I don't know. I don't want to sound all sobby, but I am. Being an only child, I'm at that point where I'm really just treasuring that time with my parents, and I'm so blessed to still have my parents around. My dad just turned 85. He's going on 86 now. My mom's 9 years younger also, and just to be able to spend that time with them now, me as a mature adult, really, before it was just like so rebellious, but now I'm like really cherishing those moments. So I just really love those times that I get to just see them a little bit more often than just the weekends. So just stop by during the week and just hang out, eat, spend some time and just talking to them. And so those are a couple of things that I really, really love.
Stacey, what about you? What do you enjoy about the holidays now as an adult person?
As an adult person, I feel like I'm still a kid, right? Like everything about it just seems magical. I talk all the time about how I teach 5th graders. When I taught 1st graders, my first year, I didn't think I'd have as many kids ruin the idea of Christmas and Santa Claus and all the things that are magical in 1st grade. But they did. And so my second year in 1st grade at back to school night, I made a big deal out of like telling the parents that 1st grade's magical. It's the only time we get to believe in everything. And I made, I asked that like if they didn't believe in certain holidays or the elements of certain holidays, that they keep that at home so that kids can go on believing in the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and Santa. This year as a 5th grade teacher, I have a couple of kids who are like, Mrs. Lindis, do you have an elf? Like, I do. Like, I didn't know where it was going. They're like, don't you think it's creepy? I mean, it just moves. Has it ever been in your room? Like, so like they're believing on my behalf, which I think is totally adorable. These 2 girls in particular, I know don't celebrate Christmas, but like they're all in it for my elf and it's magic and creepiness. I just love I just love all things kids. Like it's nice to be back in an elementary school where like these kids just have just such a wonderful sense of wonder. And that's my favorite part. It's like just the magic of it all. It's a little bit different, Chris. You'll see when your boys get older, Christmas is a little less. The magic and the wonder of it all kind of goes away when they get a little bit older. And so that breaks my heart a little bit, but I still get to live vicariously through my students. And that's been lovely.
Well, I, as a high school teacher, will not get to live vicariously through the magic of being in the 9th grade. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. And certainly I value the season for family.
Yes.
Right. This time of year, I'll be honest, I could care less about my job. It's all about my wife, my boys, and, really being intentional about family first. Right. So I'm actually, my wife had sent me a blog post that I was going to include in the SmackDown episode as my EdTech thought, but I'm going to save it till my first episode out the gate in January. That I think I may have shared the post with you and AJ. I may not have, I don't know. But it really got down to family and priorities, and just something that I try to be mindful of. Right. So, but in terms of the holiday season, it's all about those boys and all about that magic.
Yeah. AJ, what about you?
Holidays are a big deal. I mean, it's more than just that family time. I think for our kids, we celebrate both Christmas and Hanukkah. So, I can see like the questions are coming, especially from our oldest, from Ryan. He's questioning like Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. Where
Is he 3rd or 4th grade?
he's 3rd. But like same deal. I heard Stacey, you're talking about the magic, and so we try to talk about that magic, right? Magic of the holiday seasons, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Christmas. It's more about family time. It's all about different things. It's hard because for a lot of kids, they look at like gift giving, right? And Hanukkah is about gifts. You give gifts to the kids. For Christmas, it's like, oh, look what Santa brought you. And he's starting to figure it out because he's like detective. He's like, but that's so and so's handwriting, and that wrapping paper matches that over there. How is that from Santa? I'm like, oh, here we go. He wants to play detective, so he's like Batman in that regard. But he's
Sounds like you need to be the Joker and stay a couple steps ahead.
I was going to say
we're
we handled that a little differently, but wait, it gets better when they get older. I have a story for you when you're done.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I mean, it's the magic of the holiday season. Right now, it is about the family, and as I've mentioned before, we're doing work to the house, so we're getting in there for the holiday season.
That's fantastic.
So we're going in the right direction, and we set up our tree today, put the lights on, put a couple ornaments on there, so the kids are feeling it. So I think they're back in that holiday season because it hasn't felt like an actual Christmas time. We haven't been able to really do that. So here we are, and they're loving it. Daniel and Caitlin love it, and they're all in. So the excitement's there, and that's good. So now that you're taking a sip of coffee, Stacey,
sorry. No. So speaking of like detective work, so my husband's a big fan of ordering everything online. I'm more of a shop in a real store and pick things out.
Good for him.
I know. Good for him.
Good for you, Stacey. Good for you.
Especially because he does a lot of the kids shopping. And my younger one actually said, Dad, can you make sure Mom doesn't order anything because she doesn't pay attention to the details? But this year, Amazon doesn't let you know what your packages are starting a certain date in November. Mm-hmm. So like if you say like Amazon, where are my packages? And they'll say like, oh, your coffee is being delivered, but that stops. And so instead, my son, the super sleuth, has taken to getting the Amazon package and weighing it on the bathroom scale and then comparing it to his list.
What?
Right?
That is some shady stuff.
Like Rob is a genius. And then like Doug even said like, oh, I just wrapped one of your presents. He got like the tape measure out. He was like, Dad, where's my tape measure? Like, it's like next level. So like, you're like, your kid's like sleuthing out wrapping paper. We had all of that figured out. Everyone had their own wrapping paper. No gifts were labeled. If you had the green Santa paper, that was Robbie's Santa paper. If you had the red Santa paper, that was Richie's Santa paper. And then that's how we like let it go. But like, yeah. So tape measures and bathroom scales
and weights. Like goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm kind of proud of him.
Were you all snoopers as children?
No.
Fawn's like, yep.
No.
I was.
No, my favorite thing though, and like it's like a tradition passed down from the women in my family. Like my grandmother left the price tag on everything we ever got, and then my mom did it.
So
and
you
now
knew.
I do it. Now I do it. So like it's just like one of those things where you're just like you give a gift and you forget to take the tag off. That's me.
You ever? My mom was I shouldn't say was. I mean, she's still alive, but when I was growing up, she'd be notorious for like, you'd like open the gift and she'd like reach over and like grab it and like rip the price tag off.
That was my mother. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Or my mom would also lose the gifts that she would hide. She'd be like we'd be done. She'd be like, And you could just see it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. Whose gift got lost?
I had a funny story, I'll share. So, being an only child, I was like, yeah, all right. I mean, obviously, I was like, yeah, all these gifts are for me. You know, there really isn't any. But there was one year, I think I was about 10 years old, and I wanted like a little 22, like handheld gun, a little 22. I was so into guns because I was like all about, just cowboys. We lived in a citrus farm, so it's just like, we can go shooting and all that stuff. So I wanted a little handheld 22, and I was so excited because I looked under the tree and there was a small little package, like, and it was like the shape and the weight. So going back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get my little 22. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy that buildup was there. And so then I open it up. I mean, I'm just like, that's the first gift I gravitate to. And as I open it up, I see that it is a rock. It's a rock in the shape. Yes. It's a rock in the shape of a gun with a $20 bill wrapped around it. I was bawling. I was so sad. But my mom, I mean, she, it was great. My mom did an awesome job at that. That was brilliant. But I mean, that rock just had the weight, the shape. Like I was already picturing myself like, yeah, I'm going to go, when my dad goes out and he works, I get to go and shoot some cans or shoot something, and everything here in the farm. But nope, I got $20. But, I cried for a bit, but then I got over it. $20 for me at that time was like, all right, I'm rich. So, but yeah, that's my Christmas story.
Imagine if you got $22.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that would have been great. $22.
That reminds me, because money's a fantastic gift. I remember my uncle used to come stay with us some holidays. And I remember one year, just me and my brother, and he was like, oh, I think you have one more gift, but I think I saw Santa put it in the freezer. And we're like, what are you talking about? So me and my brother, we go over to the freezer and there were 2 gifts in the freezer. We unwrapped it and it was, brand new, cereal bills, like singles. And the card said it was from him. It was cold, hard cash.
Love it.
That's a good one. I like that.
Cold hard cash.
Yeah. Do you guys remember? And again, people in the chat, please join in of your Christmas and holiday memories, and we'll eventually turn the holidays towards education. But
Mel A, you should join us, please.
Yes. And hello to Pam Hubler, who is hanging out in the chat now, and Dan Krynas. Welcome back to podcasting, leader of learning. Hopefully, still in the house watching us. Do you guys have I guess we got that story from you, Fonz, which it's kind of like maybe your best Christmas memory or your saddest. I don't know. But do you guys have a best holiday, Christmassy memory, favorite gift, anything like that?
As a kid or a parent?
As a kid. I don't care what you got as a parent.
Well, I don't mean gift for myself as a parent, but I would say like Christmases were much more enjoyable when my children were here. Like they just have a different level of meaning and like memory making. Like I'll never forget Robbie's first Christmas. So that means Richie'd been around for a while. And like he got this cute little, like, like all of those toddler baby toys are like silly and plastic and colorful. And like they include mirrors and gadgets and noisemakers. And like he just sat down in front of the mirror and stared at it, because that was what the whole toy was like a big mirror with like knobs next to it. And he just sat there and looked at himself. And it was just like I don't know, just like one of my favorite memories, because he was just like the cutest child. He's still a cute boy, but I don't know. That's one of my favorite memories. And like every year, Santa, that was always my favorite for the boys. Like the Santa photo.
Mm.
Well, like a mall Santa, or did you like do something else?
Yeah, no, a mall Santa. So good.
Okay. I know Santa comes to different places, different times. Santa was riding through here on the fire truck earlier tonight.
Oh, he did that yesterday in my town. I wasn't home.
Yeah. He did that Monday around here.
Yeah, my boys were excited because I guess still being socially distant, he just threw candy canes from the fire truck to the lawn. Just.
But in a non-COVID year, how is that different?
We could in advance send gifts to the firehouse, and Santa would come in your house with the gifts for your address and sit, take a picture, come in, and then kind of leave. So he literally brought a gift for each boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking
interesting.
of a gift for everyone,
No, it's like the worst Christmas gift for everyone, actually.
No,
Oh, stop.
You know, so sorry to everyone. You know, so your worst nightmare has finally arrived.
Wow.
welcome
for
to
Be positive.
Podcast PD, Mel A.
Hey, Mel.
so nice to have you here. Mel, tell us about some
So excited to be
favorite
here.
Christmas memories.
I have none. That's my memory.
Well, thanks
I
for it, Mel.
I haven't celebrated Christmas for like 5 million years. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've shared that before. Like last time I was in Australia, Christmas was like 2013. And I mean,
Wow.
Taiwan, we didn't have holidays for Christmas, and like Colombia, it's sort of been like COVID, you know. So I'd just be spending Christmas sad and alone in my apartment.
Oh,
Best Christmas ever.
It's a good way to look at it.
So Mel, what would your ideal Christmas look like then?
Ideal Christmas? What is Christmas? I mean, really. I don't know. I mean, getting back to Melbourne, I guess, and seeing my family, maybe. Australia does like, we do Christmas lunches, so my mum would cook something, or we would cook together, make like a meal or something together. But it's been 8 years, so, you know, that's what it is. So but Christmas is like a family time, I guess. But since I moved overseas a bazillion years ago, I haven't really done anything for that. So yes, that's a sad story of my life. You know, that's why I said, you know, best guest ever right here.
Do you do anything with your students for Christmas, Mel?
Yuck. With my students for Christmas? What, like on Christmas? You mean like in Taiwan or something? Or what, when we had to work on Christmas?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know that was a thing.
What's
Huh.
that reaction?
Well,
It's
so
a
in
reality.
your education experience, what does the okay? So I guess we're learning that in Taiwan, it's not a holiday, so just life continues. But where you are now, what does the holiday season look like? How is the holiday acknowledged or not acknowledged in your classroom? Like, how do your students celebrate, or what does it look like in the school where you are?
In my classroom. So, I mean, I was away for 5 weeks because of the dumb medical thingo. By the way, as you
Are
can see,
are you back now?
I mean, it's holidays now, but I was back. I mean, I went back last Friday, and I was back for like 5 days, and then it's holidays. We finished on Thursday, but yeah, it was a really weird day on Thursday. Kids came in like from 7:30 till 10:30, and then they left. It was like, why even have a day? Why not just end on the Wednesday? They had this house day on Wednesday where they did all these different like sporting or whatever activities, different games and stuff. And I was like, they finished at 1. So I was like, why not finish on that day? But anyway, it was okay on Thursday. They just hung around. They ordered some food like panda bonos, which is like the cheese bread thing, which is delicious. But you mean like how Colombians celebrate Christmas? Christmas Eve is a big thing here. So there's parties and stuff, I guess, and they have like a meal like with family. There's usually like Christmas market things. But Christmas Day itself is not a big thing here. Like I found that really surprising because I mean Christmas Eve, like in Australia, is like you do like the carols and stuff like that. But it's not like Christmas Day is the big day, you know. Whereas in Colombia, like 2 years ago, I mean, before COVID, I went with my head of department, like the head of mathematics, to a town called Manizales, where her sisters and stuff were, and I celebrated with them. And Christmas Eve was a big thing. That's where they exchanged presents and had the Christmas meal was really weird. But it's just weird to me because, you know, I'm not Colombian. But yeah, anyway, that was my experience. So yes, actually, I didn't. That was the first time not spending Christmas alone, I guess. Yes. Why is there weird dead silence after like why talk?
No, we're just reflecting because it's interesting to see things from a different perspective. And
Reflecting.
the celebration. So it was
Uh-huh.
really cool. I was like, I didn't know that they didn't like. I'm with AJ. I was like, what? They don't celebrate like in Taiwan and things
Right.
of that sort. I was
Yeah.
like, wow,
It's just a school day. Like that blew my mind.
it's
So
weird.
if you would
yeah.
end it on that, I'd still be quiet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be working. I mean, we worked. They sometimes have like spirit days or whatever where you dress up during that week. But I mean, there's no day. We had a day off on January the 1st, but their main break isn't until like end of January where you have Chinese New Year. So we had like a 3-week winter break, I guess you call it.
Oh, that's lovely. Lunar New Year. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, where you are now, so in Colombia, you just said you are on a holiday as of earlier last week. So how long are you on a break? How long is the holiday?
You didn't see my amazing comment in the chat. Clearly, you're not looking at the chat, Chris. It's a bit disappointing. Until the 11th of January. That's when I come back. It's like an inset day for teachers. So we have like a PD day. It's actually a really terrible day. But anyway, and then on the 12th, the kids come back. So they come back on a Wednesday.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
incredible.
That's a nice break.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all of you guys come back much earlier, right?
But
Yeah.
but is your summer a lot shorter than your summer break?
It sounds like it is because we finish at the end of June and then we come back like start of August. So I mean, we have
Yeah.
we have July. I'm like, if we have a month, I'm pretty good with that. But it seems like a lot of people get like almost 2 months off.
Mhm.
It seems.
Well,
2.5.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Now that I moved up to
I don't.
admin, it's like 2 weeks off and that's it for summer.
Yep. Take your time. Use it wisely.
Yeah. We
Isn't
get
it
2.5.
Is it summer now in Colombia?
There are no seasons here because we're like basically on the equator.
Equator.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like 30 degrees or 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Sorry, you have to convert or you
Like what, like
people.
99 or something?
Yeah. there we go.
What? It's not that. It's not that hot. But it has been raining randomly recently, and it's not even like raining season. I
Oh,
don't
it's
even know
86.
what
Sorry, 86.
climate change. Yeah, so there you go. That's our like year-long, year-round basic temperature.
So it's not
86
30
degrees.
I was like, it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit right now in New Jersey. So
What? What is that?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. Cold.
yeah.
That's what it is.
It is brisk.
Snow
Yep.
next week.
Snow.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
we'll have
that's
a white
that's
Christmas.
-1 in Colombia. Well, that's -1 in Colombia. -1
Minus.
Celsius.
It's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've only been to the snow when it's like in the mountains, going like in Colombia, you can go to the mountains and see snow, obviously. But I mean, in the city, you never see that.
Happy holidays to you, Pam. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice. Hey, real quick, let's take a time out and acknowledge our sponsor for this episode, and that would be StreamYard. StreamYard makes this happen here on the live stream. StreamYard lets you live stream in the browser to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Where else can you go, Fonz?
Apparently Facebook, because you said that twice, Chris.
Yeah.
Good.
It's really important, and I'm not even live streaming to Facebook today.
We could stream to Twitch if we wanted to.
Or
Yeah,
but we
Instagram.
don't-
Twitch.
But we don't do that anymore. We're done with Twitch. Sorry to the 0.2 people who watched us over there. Anyway. So it allows us to visually brand the broadcast using graphics like you see here. We got the holiday lights up. It's easy. It's fun. You got something, AJ?
AJ's
No,
pointing to the lights.
Point at the lights.
Oh, AJ's pointing to the
Yeah.
lights.
The
Gotcha.
lights. The lights. Thank you, Chris.
If you want to try out StreamYard, you can certainly do that for free. And we recommend that you use our link, and that's podcastpd.com/StreamYard. And thank you to StreamYard for supporting Podcast PD. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
Thank you,
So I'm
StreamYard.
curious now. So because StreamYard is your sponsor, you have to do that every episode. Like you need to acknowledge that.
That's part of the deal. Yes.
How interesting.
Yeah. Hey guys, so can I share another Christmas story? Because now you
Yes.
got me, and I want to share this.
Does
one.
it involve weapons?
No
What?
weapons this time. No weapons at all this time. But
Go ahead,
like
Fonz.
like okay. So growing up, I had an aunt of mine who worked in a town here in Texas, and the family was very, very, very well off. So my aunt worked for that family, and so my aunt had to house. Well, she didn't really house it. She worked there for the family, And so the family was gone, but we were able to go to this huge, like, mansion sort of home to celebrate Christmas there. And it was my aunt and my cousin, and then of course my parents and myself. So it was just very small, but they had other workers because there was so much acreage there. So I was just like, all right, we were excited. We were eating dinner, and then all of a sudden, like, I just hear these bells. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I was little at this time. I was, I think, about 6. I was like, and so we went, and I kept hearing these bells, and my parents got all excited. I'm like, what's going on? What is it? What do you hear? And I was like, I get these bells, and I'm getting so excited, but I'm getting scared at the same time. And so we go into this huge living room area. And then my dad, like, he goes and opens the door, and he's like, look, come outside. But I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden I see a bike by the door, like the bike drops and it's just put there by the door. And that's what I had asked for. Like, I wanted a bike, my very first bike and everything. And I just hear the bells. I mean, they're going to town, like, on this whole production. But at the time, I mean, I was little. I was like, oh my gosh, Santa Claus really came and dropped my bike off because this is what I wanted. And they went as far as I don't know how they pulled it off, and how maybe the other workers there pulled it off or whatever. But when I got out the next day, and I was riding my bike there in the little parking area, like garage and all that stuff, I don't know how they did it to, like, kind of scrape the asphalt a bit so it looked like a sled had, like, come and taken off. And it was like a magical moment for me at that time, being 6. And that's one of the other stories that I really love about my youth, that they went above and beyond, like, people on the roof. They had the bells. They went, like, for this whole production. And I thought it was just, like, the sweetest thing ever, like, going back and reminiscing on that.
That's awesome.
That's
That's a
wonderful.
big deal.
They went hard on that because, I mean, they even scraped the asphalt so it looks like the sled took off and everything. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
I love
Maybe it did
that.
happen. I don't know. Maybe
Maybe
it
it did.
happen.
Magic,
I don't know.
magic of Christmas.
Yeah, you never know. But I was just thankful. It wasn't a weapon. It was my first bike, and I was so thankful. It was my very first bike.
Do you still
Fonz,
have the bike?
What was that?
I said, do you still have the bike?
No, I don't. I don't have that bike.
Fonz, I love that story. And as you're telling it, it reminded me, go figure, of a podcast. There's an episode of This American Life called Lights, Camera, Christmas. It's from 2012. It's episode 482. And for anybody who's not familiar with This American Life, there's usually anywhere from 1 to 4 stories around a theme. And the theme of this episode is all around Christmas. And in the episode, there's one specific story that talks about the length this one father went to keep the magic alive for his kids, and like well into adulthood. Like, it was just something he did. Really phenomenal episode. I've got it up here in my tab. I will make sure to drop a link in our chat, and I will also include it in a link in the show notes for this episode at podcastpd.com/111. But certainly relevant this time of year.
Lights, camera, Christmas. I like that.
And I just put a link in the YouTube chat. So yeah.
Very cool.
Chris, what do you say we talk about some of our holiday traditions or what we do in the classroom this time of year?
I think that's a good idea. I don't really have much to say about that because I've always taught older students. I would say the closest I got was actually this year. I actually brought in lights and I strung up lights in my classroom. One day, Quinn, the student teacher, came in and he was like, "What's going on now?" I said, "I decided to be festive," and I hung up Christmas lights on the dry erase board in the front of the room and the giant bulletin board in the back of the room. And most times when I come back, they're unplugged because kids need to plug in their cell phones or their Chromebooks. But
High school
yeah.
problems.
I mean, I would imagine it would be a whole different experience if I was an elementary school teacher. So I know Stacey could probably speak to that. AJ, maybe even from your time in the middle school, maybe there was some holiday stuff going on.
No, sir.
Nope, teaching right up until the bell. Attaboy.
That's what happens with
So we do.
Mr. Bianco.
That's it.
Your last name's White. It should be Snowy.
I'm a drill sergeant, Snowy. I mean, besides the hat, which I will wear in school this week.
The word is Blanco. That's white. What does Bianco? Bianco is not white.
Yes, it is in Italian, dude.
Italian.
Is it?
Yep. Hi there.
Bianco.
Hey, I'm Italian over here.
Yep. Bianco. It's white. If you ever go to an Italian restaurant, that's how you get your pizza. Pizza Bianco.
I'm a white guy.
Thank you.
Well, that was Chris saying that.
That was definitely Chris saying that.
Ah.
No, I mean, I don't do the whole traditions in the classroom because I don't want to exclude anybody. So I've always kind of been neutral towards the holiday, and like if we do like a holiday game, I honestly do like superhero holiday trivia or something like that. I don't focus on like holiday traditions because we have so many mixes within our different schools. I don't want anybody to feel excluded. I'll just be straight up. I'll wear this hat. I'm going to wear it this week because I can. I have holiday ties. They're festive. That's what we do.
What's your favorite holiday tie?
Hold on. You guys talk. I'll get one.
All right, nice.
Yeah, so Chris, I'm with AJ. Like at the elementary level, and for all the years I've been teaching, it's been either culture based, like what traditions do you have in general, or when I taught second grade, so the first 2-3 years of my career, like we did cultural snow people, and so like it was never like I don't know. It was just kind of fun. Like it was like dress the person up or dress the snow person up like someone, from your culture, either like a traditional dress for the holiday or something else. Wow, AJ, that's like next level.
No, hold on. Can you see it?
No, because Chris made himself big because he's important. Oh, you have an ugly sweater tie.
No, it's a tie. Yeah. So it's a Santa Claus.
I like it. But it's also an ugly sweater tie. It looks like
wait
ugly.
Wait for it. This is another one I got. Santa Claus talking to me.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
AJ's so
Santa
excited.
Claus. Santa Claus playing football.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do you have like the
Ryan
advent
loves
calendar
this
of ties? Is this like 24
Ryan loves
ties?
this one. Ryan is little penguins.
That one's cute.
That one's cute.
And I got
Wow.
I got Santa Claus.
Oh boy.
And I got a couple more Christmas trees. But come on, this is what happens when you're a teacher. You get all these ties, and like, I'm such a nerd that I'm actually going to keep them and use them.
Do you have those jackets that go with them, like the Christmas jackets, or like?
I do need to shout out.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I
he
do
does.
have that, and that'll be worn on Wednesday.
I
Wait,
do
do
need
you
to
have the
shout
full
out.
suit?
Get me off the screen.
Oh
Get me
yeah,
off
he's
the
got the
screen.
full
I do
suit.
have the full suit. I do have the full suit.
So does our pal Bowtie Joe.
Of course he does.
He's got 5. So I
What?
imagine he'll wear. Oh, he's got one for every day of the week this week, no doubt in my
I'm not
mind.
allowed. I'm not
By
allowed.
the school or the shadow?
No, the CEO, CFO, I guess.
Yeah. Oh. Plus, what happens when they're not cool?
They are always cool. What's wrong with you, Stacey?
I don't know. It's so different though, because like the men in my building don't wear ties. So like we
Oh.
don't get to see that.
I guess
like
elementary schools, yeah.
we just dress a little differently. But yeah, it's always just been like low key. And then these past 3 years, Chris, I've had my students plan our winter parties. And that's been fun. So like they're in charge. And then this year, like my first year back in the classroom, I was by myself. I was, the only teacher in my room. So it was just kind of however I structured the day. We made it a little less academic. This year it's a little more academic, but I have kids who totally rise to the occasion. And like for math, they'll create math games related to the holidays, or like create math problems. So they actually made origami hot cocoa mugs, and they're
cool.
putting streamers inside. They're like, it looks a little dark. I only had black streamers. I was like, it's okay. Mine will be coffee. And then they're creating little marshmallows that they're rolling up on paper with like math equations for them to solve based on our current unit. Like, and this is all them. We don't tell them what they have to do. We're just like, here's our day. We have math, reading, and writing. Plan something. And then we also, and like, here are our specials. You can't plan anything there, and then do whatever you want. And so like, there's like probably, and because it's a half day, everything's so much shorter. So we had to like collapse the day. For Halloween, it was the same deal though. So like plan the day. They had pin the stem on the pumpkin. So like this time they were like, we're going to do pin the carrot on the snowman. Like they're just so cute about it. And like, they come in during lunch like 4 or 5 times during the month. They plan everything. They do a lot of it outside of the classroom, and it's been wonderful.
Now, here's something I will ask, Stacey. Do you give all of your students some type of little gift? Are you a teacher?
It depends on the year. My first year.
So it sounds like it's a no for 2021.
No. So this year, yes. I just haven't gotten it yet. No, this year, no. We raided the dollar spot in Target, and we got everybody hand sanitizer. We got everybody pens and pencils because they like their writing instruments in my classroom. And then last year, everybody got a journal and a pencil. And then my first year, no, because it had been so long, I didn't even think about it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I was by myself, so I didn't have that guidance. So,
gotcha.
But I also do like to kind of have like a gift that the kids give their parents.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So in the past, I've always had them make a calendar. And so they'll get a calendar, like a plain sheet for each month. And then it's like a pull-off calendar. And then they decorate like the top part of an 11 by 17 paper, like construction paper. And so the thing stays up, and then just the pages of the calendar come off, and they put up whatever's important for January. So like in my family, my husband's birthday would go on, and then February, my son's birthday. So they're putting in the important dates that they know. And then they can ask their family members for important dates outside of that. Nice. This year, I want to do soap, and I want to put little laminated photos of the kids inside the soap, but I need enough. I don't use disposable soap bottles. I have like a reusable one. So it's been really hard for me to collect them. So if I can get to 22 by Thursday, I will last minute do it on Thursday, and we'll be done. If not, then they'll get them as end of the year gifts. And then it will just be like a picture of them trapped inside the soap.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
nice.
It's really cute.
My kids, we're working on a unit on genocide.
So happy, Chris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just throwing it out there. And Stacey spit coffee all over herself. That's why she took the camera away. But hey, you got to go where the curriculum kind of tells you to go. And
right. Tis the season.
Tis the season. But, on that, this week is Quinn, the student teacher's last week in the classroom. So the big reveal is coming up.
Where that he is the student teacher?
That he's a student teacher, and he will not be back after whatever January, after Thursday. Because we have
for you, when you come back for the new year, you actually have to work.
I've been working the whole time.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
Yep. Sure. He kind of let me know.
It's not easy being me.
Right.
Plus, when we go back in January, we're starting up that whole the Zebra Morning Show.
That's exciting.
Yes. I don't know. Last episode, I think I told you guys I put in to have some things purchased. And since our last episode, I did get confirmation that all the things on my wish list will be purchased.
Woo!
And it's just a matter of will Santa bring them before Thursday so I can have a studio ready to go for January 3rd? Because I'm not like other people who just get to come back in the middle of January. Wait, Mel, did you just say that Quinn is my twin?
I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just, I know this is a bit random to say, but like, when he was on as a guest, I was just like, so similar. It's also like when Tim Cavey has specific guests on, like with the Dan Kreiners yesterday.
That's one of the things that frustrates me about being another white
all the
bald man with
podcasters
glasses. Really, that's why I keep going with the clear glasses.
Funny. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Tim has had a bunch of guests recently that just look very similar to him. It's just quite funny. For me, for Christmas, I hate those holiday things. I hate dress up, especially with kids. I say no to all the things. We just go on with whatever we're doing, basically. I mean, I teach grade 9s and 11s. They like dress up way more than I do, and I'm just like, no.
They also wear their pajamas more than you do to school, I'm sure.
Pajamas? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Well, you said like they dress down. I don't know. Kids in my high school, it's like every other kid has their pajamas on.
We're wearing pajamas on Thursday. Can't wait. I already got them picked out. It's the second time this month.
Do you want to go run and show us the pajamas, Stacey? You want to go run and get your holiday pajamas?
No, maybe I'll post on Instagram if my co-teacher and I remember to take a picture. We're not good at remembering.
We'll text you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Text me because I think we remembered for back to school night because we also wore pajamas to back to school night because we were Zooming. So we only wore professional outfits on top. I was wearing a dress, so I just had my pajama bottoms on, but we were both at school and then she had on a shirt and her pajama bottoms. And it was just fun to take the picture before conferences and be like, and this is how we roll. That one I did post.
Nice.
I forget.
Well, speaking of how we roll, we're going to start to pull the
out.
Polar Express back into the station here for episode 111. See, I threw out a bunch of little holiday metaphors tonight. I do my best. So before we go, and we're going to finish up with not what we're listening to, but what our plan is for the 12 days of Podcast PD, because it is going to look a little different here in 2021. So before we do that and we say goodbye, we want to take a moment to thank our executive producers. So thank you so much for the support from Mike Brilla, Stephanie Scrocky, and Sandy Hartman. If you want to support the show and you enjoy what we do here on Podcast PD, you can go to podcastpd.com/executive producer. And anybody who supports the show will get an exclusive executive producer sticker. And if you support the show for a year in advance, we will also send you a Podcast PD mug and an awesome Podcast PD t-shirt. For more information, go to podcastpd.com/executive producer. And thank you again to Mike, Stephanie, and Sandy for all your support.
Thank you so much.
All right. So the 12 days of Podcast PD. In years past, we have released these mini episodes starting on the official start of the 12 days of Christmas, which, Stacey, is when?
I believe it is Christmas Day, Chris.
And we have done that where we started releasing these mini episodes, making recommendations to you, our valuable listener, about things that we enjoy. And we've each done, let's see, 4 episodes a piece. I'm doing basic math here live. Never do math live on a podcast. Never good. Dangerous. Last year, we did something really cool where we were able to send you the episodes directly. And then we changed our website platform and that all went to, poo-poo. So we can't do that. And in the interest of time, we are going to do something a little different. We are going to release one episode to celebrate the 12 days of Podcast PD. And in that singular episode, which we are not going to live stream, but we are going to prepare it before Christmas, hopefully. And it will be released on Christmas, hopefully. And in that episode, Stacey, AJ, and I will give you 12 recommendations that will hopefully carry you through your 12 days of Christmas. I would say 12 days of break, but some of us don't get 12 days. Some of us get more than 12 days. So there's just no way to know. We're going to give you 12 solid recommendations that will make you laugh, think, cry. You'll feel something based on what we share with you. So we are very excited for that. A little bit of a different look, but you still get the same value just in one shot.
I'm excited.
Wait, what was that?
Nope.
Okay.
You people suck.
Wow. That one recorded?
I'm excited.
There it is.
Oh my god. I hate that board came back.
I'm so excited. Anyway, hey, Fonz, you're still hanging around. Real quick, where can people check out My EdTech Life and connect with you? And thanks for hopping on with us.
Yeah, no, of course. It's always a pleasure. And thank you guys. But yeah, you can go ahead and visit our website at myedtech.life, myedtech.life. And then on all socials, you can find us at myedtech.life. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn also as well. So just type in at myedtech.life and you'll find us. And thank you as always for allowing me to join in. I really love hanging out with you guys. And you really make my Sunday just wonderful, and you really helped me get a great start on Monday also as well. So thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
You're the
We
man,
love
fellas.
having
We
you.
love you.
Thank you.
You're the man, and congratulations once again on your 100th episode.
That's right.
Yay.
And so I heard, what was it that Podcast PD was going to send me a hoodie for reaching that milestone, right?
Oh no, you get the it's from the Podcast Academy. It's like the 5 Timers Club on SNL.
There we go.
Send us your address, Fonz. We'll take care of it.
Sounds great. Thank you guys.
Also,
I appreciate y'all.
All right,
thank
Fonz,
you to
love
Mel
man.
A for hopping on with us, but she hopped off before we got a chance to say goodbye. But make sure if you're not connected with Mel on Twitter, she is at Fungooli, Fungooli. And thank you for succumbing to peer pressure and joining us on the live stream tonight, Mel. We appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Thanks for joining us.
To you. Yes. All right. Stacey, do the holiday magic.
Break
Do
out
the
that
holiday
one.
magic. Break out the wand. All right, we're gonna do it a little differently tonight. We're gonna say happy holidays, Christopher.
Happy holidays, Stacey.
Say happy holidays, Fonz.
Happy holidays, Stacey.
Happy holidays, AJ.
That's me. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays,
To
Podcast
all
PD.
a good night.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. All right. So we're still live. So thank you to everybody for hanging out with us
Fonz,
in the
leave.
chat
I
tonight.
know you wanted to leave like 45 minutes ago.
I know. I felt so bad.
I know, no, I'm okay. No, seriously, I'm okay. I
All
just
right,
kind of
all
felt
right.
like, oh man, I gotta know if it like I went too long or not. But as always, I mean, you guys are great, and I love spending time with you guys. So I love it.
Thank you,
Thank
Fonz.
you guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
All right. We're going to end the live part, and everybody stay tuned for that 12. Could we do it? Maybe do it in 12 minutes. 12 minutes of Podcast PD. I don't know.
Ooh.
Ooh, maybe we challenge ourselves. So on that note, I'm going to end the live stream, and we'll